All right, it's Bill Algie back at ROCKNPOD 2023. This is, I think, our 8th or 9th interview today. So there we go. We're sitting down with Tattered Sons. So tell me a little bit about your guys' band. What's going on?
Oh man, we're just kind of a heavy Southern rock band. Just kind of a throwback nostalgia. We're just a throwback to just good classic rock and roll, man. Our tagline is. We're the most familiar sounding band you've never heard of.
That's pretty good.
That's
good.
We just try to throw back to the stuff that we grew up on that we like. The AC/DCs, the Guns N' Roses, the Foreigners, the Bad Companies, all of it. Just all the good, straight ahead, kick-ass rock and roll.
Cool.
Let me tag on to that. The type of music that has more substance about it, where it's going to stick around and not be gone later this afternoon. There's so many bands right now that are forgettable.
Oh yeah.
And I hate being like that and talking like that, but it's the truth, because they're all wanting to be the next whatever. We're staying true to sticking to our guns, and people are liking it. Wouldn't you say so, Derek?
Yeah, I agree with that, man. We're getting all of our stuff is organic. You know what I mean? Like we're not. And I'm not knocking anybody that does. If that's what you do, that's cool, that's your thing. But for us, we're not going to buy views. We're not going to buy, follows
right.
and all that stuff. So, I'd rather have, 2,000 real follows as 10,000 that, we've had to pay for.
Yeah, for sure.
So that way we know. That way we can actually gauge if what we're doing is working. Because all the rest, if it's bought and if it's all that, then it's not real, and you can't gauge that. You know.
And those numbers really, they mean something to you guys. But if the music's good, it'll come. And
absolutely.
You don't have to pay for it. And we kind of got in that situation when we first started the podcast. It was like, we found all these podcasts that were like, all of a sudden they were up to 1,000 views and they just started. It's like, how the hell did that happen? Because we were like 12, at one point in time, right? And
when you start, you want to, because just like in music, look around right here. There's 1,000 people in here maybe, and the greatest singers, drummers, guitar players, whatever. How are you going to be remembered? How are you going
right.
to, it's what you put out, just like your podcast.
Right.
If you phoned it in, so to speak, you're going to go by the wayside quicker than anything.
Right, and you want to be unique to a degree, but you also got to hit the pocket.
Exactly.
Yeah, because if you don't hit the pocket, it doesn't matter.
Exactly, which is what Derek was saying. We want to stay true to what we like. I graduated high school in 1986, and I'm the youngest of 5 children. So I got to hear all the great music, and there's nothing wrong with going from Iron Maiden to Barry Manilow. I'm sorry, there's nothing wrong with it.
Right,
I got you, man.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yep.
As long as it's real.
Yeah, absolutely. And to your point, even metal and rock, in that period of the 80s, it got pretty disposable. It was
absolutely.
And the problem with that for me was there were bands that I thought were really, really good bands that that never made it past opening status because they just didn't have that radio pop thing going on to get them over the top.
Or it's so saturated with everybody else. You know what I mean? It's like the metal scene killed itself.
Oh, for sure.
In the 80s. When I saw and nobody really cares about my opinion anyway, but when I saw Whitesnake, when Rudy Sarzo had blonde hair and Whitesnake, it was obvious to me at that point. And Rudy Sarzo's one of my heroes. I love the man.
Yeah.
I think he's a great bass player. He's a great ambassador for rock and roll. So this is no dig on him. I get it. It was the record company, but it was at that point that you could tell that the record company had involved themselves so much that these guys were just falling in line.
Yeah, you got to get in the box.
Towing the line, And, so be it. I get it. It paid off for them. They all became, they all done very well, and God bless them for it. There's some great music off that album. I love that album. But I prefer music that I grew up on. AC/DC. That's probably my favorite band in the world. If I had to listen to one band for the rest of my life, Bon Scott era AC/DC's it. And Bon Scott never gave a damn what anybody thought of him. You know what I mean?
Not. Nope.
And like Tim said, to Tim's point, it's all about being real. And there's so much in the world today musically that's not. It's just rehashed everything else. Now, with that being said, I'll be the first to admit that our stuff is you can definitely hear our influences, but it's our take on it. You know what I mean? It's not, we're not blatantly ripping off. You know, when you heard Foreigner back in the 70s and 80s, you knew it was Foreigner, and they sounded different than Bad Company, and they sounded different than AC/DC, and they sounded different than April Wine, and they sounded different than Blue Oyster Cult. You know, all these bands out there, and it's all in the same genre. Now it sounds like a 45-minute song.
Well, yeah, and you know, some of the music being made now, for sure, it's got to hit this. You know, it's a cookie cutter. You know, it's got to have this, that, the other. It's processed. You know, I talked to a young band earlier today, and they were talking about how what they're doing right now is they're not doing anything on, you know, using Pro Tools and that stuff. They're doing everything, going in, cutting tracks, you know, 5 different tracks, not doing stuff that's, you know, they're doing it on their computer and stuff like that because they don't want that sound. They don't want that. They want that organic sound from 5 people in a room. You know,
that is refreshing.
Yeah, it's not normal.
Because kids these days, they don't even know signal flow.
No, they don't. You know, and we've all gotten used to it, right? I mean, we're all victims of that, right? That instantaneous response to stuff.
By the way, Ages of Rock, this guy come up behind us. This is Joe Morgan, our guitar player.
How's it going?
Good, man. How are you?
I'm doing good.
Mark Alley, here's our drummer.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hey, man.
This is the guy responsible for the landing page on the website.
Oh, yeah. We started this by just talking about that. The landing page is badass.
Well, it's a landing page. It has the links to all of our stuff on it.
Yeah, but I was researching all these bands for today, and went to you guys' page, popped up, and I was like, all those different social sites were on there, and I could just click on each one. That was like, I'm like, finally somebody got this right, because otherwise they're like, at the bottom you click this one and click that one. It was really cool.
But
you got a good job.
We put a lot of thought into that, sort of.
Hey.
Well, at our age, you got to have everything in the same place. Yeah. Because
we're all the same age. I think we all agree to that.
It's very easy to lose shit.
You can ask my wife. She'll tell you. I've gotten to the point where if it's not right in front of me, I can't find a damn thing. Ketchup, it's the same.
I always ask him. I ask Krista all the time, where did you put the thing that I'm looking for? Yeah.
Yep. That's amazing. So how long have you guys been around then?
Well,
this actually since about 2020, right?
Okay.
I started putting this thing together in 2019, and in 2020, everything was just getting ready to start, and then of course, you know, the pandemic, COVID, all that bullshit happened, and it just killed everything, and it slowed everything up. So 2020 don't even count to me. Like, to me, that didn't even exist.
I understand.
But you guys, how long? You guys been with us? Less than a year.
Less than a year. About I mean, May, really.
Yeah, right. Yeah. In May is whenever we got together. These guys they have another band. It's like an '80s tribute band, and I got to go down and sit in with them. And Tim and I happened to show up at rehearsal before anybody else got there, and we were just sitting there just talking and hanging out. And I let him hear some of the stuff, and he was like, I like that. And then a show opportunity came around, and he and Mark were coming on. Because of COVID, we lost the contract to the show. It's to an Ace Frehley show. But anyway, that's what got it started, and we've all just kind of been stuck with each other since then. So
sounds like it's working out.
Yeah, the core of the band is in Southern Kentucky, and Mark, the drummer, and I are from here in Nashville. We make it. The sounds are really good. I really think that we're onto something, and the momentum is really gaining. So I'm excited. And like Derek said, it's organic. We're doing this from the ground up.
It's awesome.
I mean, our drummer is a fantastic videographer. He does all the video work. You know, we all have our super energies. You know, Joe does the web. I'm an attention whore, so you know, it all works.
As most front men are.
You know, we all have our job.
That's right. There's nothing wrong with that. So talk about want people to be able to find you. So what's the webpage?
It's at tatteredsons.com.
Okay, and then from there you can get to anything.
It has that cool landing page. Pick and choose the EPK, the Spotify, the anything.
All right, what do you got coming up? Anything coming up
yeah,
soon?
we've got Knoxville, Tennessee. Next Saturday we are there with a band called Kincaid. They are a Knoxville staple, and we cannot wait to show what we got for you.
There you go.
And then we're going to be back here in Nashville May 17th at the Cobra. And probably something will happen before then, but that's what's booked right now.
We're over in Glasgow, Kentucky in April.
That's right.
And then we got a couple of shows down here. We're in Owensboro, and then back here at the Cobra at the end of May.
At the end of May,
yeah. So we're
you got some shows booked. You're good.
Yeah, we got a few shows, not as many as we'd like to have, but I mean, we're doing what we can.
Yeah, but it's amazing down here in Nashville, especially how much rock is down here. It's amazing to come
town.
here. It is definitely
a rock and roll town. I mean,
they
sir,
paint it country, but it's really rock.
If you wanted to go find Danish black metal, I bet we could go find it tonight.
Probably so. But I've been amazed over the years, coming down here for years, that how the transition is, and it's really cool to see, and,
I love it.
Being able to go to clubs and
absolutely
see it.
love
so,
it.
Yeah. Good deal. Well, thank you guys for coming by. Really appreciate it.
No, thank you. We appreciate it. And if everybody would like to go and check out our new song, "The Devil That You Know," it's a slow burn that'll just keep you going the whole way with a story that we've all been there.
There you go. All right. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much.